Hey everybody, Anthony Rodriguez here, Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. How is everybody doing today? Happy Sunday. It is Sunday. It is day of the manifestation. It is day of the male energy. Sorry, ladies, you get your day tomorrow, Moon Day. You know what I want. So I hope everybody's having a blessed weekend. And I just shook up the box a little bit with a post that I sent out about the way I look, about my physique, my frame. I used to be 238 pounds, and I'm about 152 right now. My doctor told me way back when that my optimal weight was 160. And I'm like, 160? Are you kidding me? 160? I would be like famished at 160. And I got to 160, and everybody was asking me if I was ill or if I was, they were concerned that I might have the H word, or A word, HIV or AIDS or something. And I don't. And what I attribute it to is the work that I do, is the work that I've done, the shadow work that I've done. And I want you to know that I don't carry around the bondage, the baggage, the traumas, the hurts, the wounds, the shames from when I was a child, when I was a younger person, when I was a younger man. I don't do that anymore. I've lived an interesting life. I've been married 3 times. I've had lots of relationships. I've dealt with drug addiction and alcohol addiction. I've been sober for 26 years. 26, 2 and 6 is 8, and that's an infinite number. Infinite. So there's a lot of things that don't happen in my life anymore. I make different decisions for myself, me first always, you first always, and I live my life that way. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not gonna be a people pleaser. And if I don't say things that you like, can't help you. You need to go and check yourself in the mirror and see what that's all about, because the way the stuff that I say lands on you is none of my business. I say what I have to say. I teach what I have to teach for the sake of teaching, for the sake of helping, not for the sake of hurting. And with the feedback that I get, that shows itself. That really, really shows itself. So I'm going to honor myself by saying that, and I want to thank everybody for honoring me with your words and the feedback that I get, because I get some amazing, amazing feedback from just some amazing, amazing people. You guys are all amazing, no matter how you feel about yourself. No matter how you feel about yourself at any particular second, minute, hour, day, week, month, year. It doesn't matter. You're an amazing person, and you don't have to buy into the thoughts and the wounds and the shames and the pokings of the stick, pokings of the bear from those in your life, from those around you. And I use that phrase all the time. I'll ask a question, or I'll make a statement, and I'll say, "Am I bothering you?" Poking the bear with a stick. I want to poke the bear with a stick. I want to go into the den where the bear is sleeping, where the bear is trying to just get some rest, but sleeping, and I'm going to poke you with the stick, hoping that you will chase me right out of that cave, right out of that den, and you'll be forced to do something about yourself. The thing that you haven't wanted to do, that you felt that you couldn't do, that you were told you couldn't do. What were you told in your lifetimes that you couldn't do? And that's another thing. The wounds of the past lives. Everybody wants to talk about, they want to get all woo-woo and talk about their past lives and how they were hurt and how they're wounded. And this happened in my past life and this happened in my past life. But you don't plant your feet in a foundation and being rooted and fruited and talk about the wounds and the hurts and shames in this lifetime. You're concerned about the past lifetime. That is called anxiety. And I don't live in anxiety. I hope. Oh, somebody just went through by the window. Anyways, never mind your past lives. Deal with the present life. Give yourself the gift of your present being, your present body, your present place of living and breathing right here, right now, into your heart space lungs. Take a deep breath into your lungs, not even into your lungs, through your heart space, into your fire, your fuego. I can, I will, I do. And stoke that fire with oxygen. I say this all the time. Stop feeding the whole and start feeding the soul. For me, food was just an excuse to stuff stuff my feelings, stuff my hurt, stuff my shame, stuff my wounds, all that stuff that I dragged around with like a ball and chain as a child, as a young adult, as a teenager, as a cocky teenager, then an arrogant young person in my 20s and 30s. There's nothing wrong with the 20s and 30s, but you know how we are and you know how we can be because you know. Anyways, I no longer buy into those things. I no longer allow people to try to get my goat. You can't have my goat. I have my goat. I no longer try to live up to the dangling carrot of spoken and unspoken expectations, whether it's at home, whether it's at church, whether it's at work, whether it's in life in general. I don't give a ass, or a rat's ass, I don't know why I said it that way, about what other people expect from me. I don't live my life for you. I don't live my life for them. So I get to relinquish the shame. I get to relinquish the hurt. I get to relinquish the wounds. I get to relinquish the pain of what was and no longer live in that. I don't have to take medications. I don't have to take any of that stuff. I eat whole foods and I eat good foods and I take care of myself and I meditate and I pray and I stand more than anything in my power. Do you want to stand in your power? Can you stand in your power? Will you stand in your power? Are you going to bow to the husband, bow to the wife, bow to the kids, bow to the boss, bow to the job, bow to the church, bow to your God? When are you going to stand and be one with God? In alignment. This is not 11 or this is not 2. These are the pillars. And it's the space between the pillars that brings the pillars together. The space between the pillars, not what's filled between the pillars, because that separates us. You start filling that space between the pillars and it separates the pillars, right? So you start noticing the space, and you start noticing the pillar, and they become closer and closer and closer. And this is how we create community. This is how I create community. Outside that window is a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's probably about 70 plus right now, 75, 76 degrees. It's going to be about 90. I'm going to head out and go towards the ocean and take somebody for a ride, take my mother for a ride. And you know what? There's so much happening out there that isn't in the negative nature of what this country likes to feed you and what you like to feed yourself. Feed yourself something positive. Feed yourself some wisdom. Feed yourself grace. Feed yourself joy. And give it to yourself. Don't go around trying to give it to others because you can't give away what you haven't got. I hope. You absolutely can. I want to thank everybody for logging on. Iris, Sarah, Cielita, Angela, my friend Angela, Michael, Nancy Keene, Arnold. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for listening to me. I posted that post about my weight, and I want to talk about that because that's a serious issue. We do not have to carry around the emotional bondage that we carry around. And the emotional bondage that we carry around is that of others. Of us trying to live up to the dangling carrot of the spoken and unspoken expectation. Want to thank everybody for coming. Thumbs up, Nancy. I love you guys. Do everything you can for you because no one's going to do it for you. I'm going to say that 3 times. Do everything you can for you because nobody's going to do it for you. Do everything you can for you because nobody, I don't care how much they love you, is going to do it for you. Don't wait for outside sources. Go within. Go into your consciousness of who and what you are and who and what you have always been. If you find difficulty and that you have trouble and this resonates with you, what I'm talking about, you can reach me at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com. You can call me at area code 818-442-1717. That's my office number. Or you can go to my website at www.sacreddrummedicine.com and learn more about me. You can even reach out to me through my website. You can find out about my events and you can find out what it is exactly that I do. I'm here to lend myself to the community. I'm here to lend myself to the world. I'm here to do what it is I can do to help you thrive in a healthier, happier, peaceful way. Aho. Have a beautiful day. Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine.